Today I'm going to show you how to add captions to your Instagram Reels, your YouTube Shorts, your vertical videos, your short form content. And it's fast and it's free. Let's jump right in. Start things off, first you want to do is go to CapCut.com. Like I mentioned, it is free. It's for Windows and for Mac, so you're covered either way. You can also use CapCut on your phone, so they have a mobile app for iPhone and for Android users. Also, I'm assuming you already have the video, your short put together. I'm literally just going to show you how to add the captions to it. So once you're in CapCut and you have it open, import your file. Click here. I have my file here. What you want to do next is take that file and drag it down into your timeline. And as you see, we now have a file here. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is click on Modify here. And what you want to do, you can name the file. Don't worry about the save to. You'll be able to do that when you export the file out. Import, you can keep them in the original place, or you can copy the project to a particular location. These are generally small files. They're shorts, reels, so it doesn't take too much craziness. Resolution adapted is fine. Make sure you choose your correct frame rate. If you shot it in 24 frames, make sure your project file's in 24 frames. If you shot it in 30, make sure this is 30. Your color space is fine at Rec 709. And you can generally leave free layer off, just because you can turn it on if you like, but generally, especially for what we're doing, it's so simple. I would just leave it off. Basically, free layer will allow you to kind of change the position of the layers on your timeline, so you can move the audio layers around and move your video. You really don't need all that for what we're doing, especially just to add some captions. It's going to be very quick. Also, in this performance tab, you can choose to add proxies, which will speed up the editing. So basically, if you turn it on, let's say if you're running big files like 4K files, or even, depending on your computer, big files is relative, right? So if 1080p files or 4K files are too much for your computer and you're noticing it's slowing it down and it's skipping, what these proxies will do, once you create these proxies, what it'll do is it will create smaller files for you to work with. So instead of 1080 or 4K, you'll work with small 720p files or 540p files. And it will be much easier on your computer. But when you go to export, don't worry, it will export in the full resolution. So what I'm going to show you. So next you want to go into text. You want to go into auto captions here. This program is so amazing. I cannot believe it's free. It's only a matter of time, I'm sure. Click on create. Give it a moment. And now you'll see above my video file here are the text files. And on the screen, or to the right, here they are. But to the right of that, we have our options for those captions, because they're really small and you may want to change the font, change the way they look. So first thing I do, first and foremost, is choose a font. I personally go with this one, Avenir Next, I think it's pronounced. That's just what I go with, and I always increase the font size. It differs depending on what's on screen, but generally around maybe like 15. That's what I keep it at. And then if you go through, here are a few just like preset options for your captions. Most of these are actually pretty good. However, I generally go with this option here. I feel like it's very easy to read. And keep in mind, being easy to read is very important. People have to be able to read what you're saying. So make sure it's big enough and make sure whatever preset you choose is legible. Plus, keep in mind, most footage online most of these shorts are viewed without audio. So these captions are very important. And once you do that, you're pretty much good to go. Unfortunately, you can't really control if you want 2 lines or 3 lines of text. The only real way to control it is to kind of just decrease or increase the font size. But it doesn't really bother me. And like I said, it's just free, so I'm not really tripping. Yeah, and there we go. What you want to check for is make sure, like, it's really good at picking up your voice and turning into text. However, it's not perfect. So just go through and make sure it's right. Because sometimes you say something, and especially if you have an accent or just said some kind of like a slang word or something like that, it won't pick up too well. See, like here, it will pass a TSA check. So what you want to do is come here. What you want to do is click on it. I'm sorry. Click here. And then you can actually change the text. Pass a TSA check. Bada bing. Oh, you know what? Since we're talking about captions as a bonus, let me show you another cool feature about CapCut, and it's text-to-speech. So those captions you have, click up here to text-to-speech, and you can go through and listen to them, and it will read the text. If you ever seen those shorts where, you know, it speaks out, I'll play a demo here for you to see.
The camera. The shots. Atlanta.
This text-to-speech is pretty good, actually. It's pretty cool, and it's a lot of voices to choose from. I think the most popular, I think we'll all be most familiar with this voice Jesse here. The voice Jesse. That was very popular for some reason. And when you're done with your text-to-speech, just click on Start Reading, and it will populate down here. Matter of fact, and there you go. Now it is on your timeline. And you can actually move these around to have her speak at the point. Make sure it lines up right with the text, which it should, because it's coming straight off the captions that it itself created. So when you're done choosing your caption options, come up here to the top to export. Click it, and what you want to do is give it a title. Name it YouTube Explainer. And you can choose a path on where to export your video to. I'm just choosing a desktop. And you can choose your resolution, your bitrate. You really don't have to worry about these things because it's already pulling from your timeline. So your resolution, bitrate, your codec and things, your frame rate and format's already in there. And then just choose export. So there you have it. That's how you add captions and CapCut to your short form videos. If you found any value, please consider liking, please consider subscribing, and please share the video with someone who you know is struggling with adding captions to their short form content. Please take advantage of this program while you can. I can assure you this program is too amazing to stay free forever. Until next time, peace.